Today we're at the Hudson-Meng Education and Research Center in the panhandle of Nebraska. Just over in that building is a huge collection of ancient bison bones. I mean, apparently based on the pictures that I've seen, it's supposed to be well worth the trip out here. It's definitely a bit of a long road and long haul as it's in a remote part of Nebraska, but from what I've seen, it's supposed to be really impressive. So let's go check this thing out. And this is all in the Sandhills location of Nebraska, where all the earth is just this sandy dust where some trees can take hold, but mostly it's all low shrubs or grasses. Whoever built this earthen dam hadn't done the excavation and hadn't dug right over in this location, we wouldn't have one of the most premier archaeology sites or paleontology sites, I don't know, maybe archaeology sites in the world.
What caused so many of these ancient bison to die here?
And you walk into this site and literally this huge pile of bison bones. How cool is that? Now, the bisons of current era apparently weren't nearly as big as the ones that have been pulled out of here. So it's definitely a different thing, and the research is ongoing, and that's what's really the most interesting portion, is you can see the original land level and where digging just happens to have happened. That's really pretty fascinating. And this is only just one dig site, you know, who knows what else is going on. And apparently there's a minimum of at least 125 bison. This mapping area is just one of a huge amount. And here's the entire excavation area. But also, they've found butcher points, different types of tools, and all sorts of craziness. But it's interesting that the original thought that this was a cliff jump where the animals were pushed off and then slaughtered and then eaten and taken care of course. Well, not taken care of, but converted to lunch. But it was figured out by a couple of research scientists later that that wasn't actually the case. See, the original thought is, and this is a common thing that was done by the natives and native Indians, is that you would find a cliff, you would drive the bison towards the cliff, the bison would rush and dive over the cliff, break their legs, and then the native Indians would come and finish them off and then have them as food. However, there are other clues here that suggest that's not actually the case. Most interestingly, these two researchers came out, looked for the geology of what would be called a cliff jump, where you shove those animals over a cliff, and it just didn't occur. So the next theory is that the bison were corralled into this pen sort of area that's since eroded, where you get them in there and then you're able to slowly kill them off, generating this kind of pileup. And apparently, based on the research, that these bones here actually are mixed up. They're hundreds of years of different, and they've just been piled up. So one of the things about that is, why would those bones be piled up in one site? When you're killing off these animals and you're slaughtering them and you're getting the hides and the meat and the bones and all that, why would you put them all in one place? That doesn't make a lot of sense, because I mean, you have all this carnage and you have all these dead bison, but usually the whole theory is when you wipe out these animals, or not wipe them out, but kill them off for lunch and dinner and breakfast, and then you tan the hides and make sinew and all these sorts of things, is that why would you leave all those bones in a singular place? And you can see the different points of spear points, plains hunters, and using on atlatls, and then the bow and arrow. The bow and arrow is a very recent tool. The atlatls and spears have a different point, and then atlatl is still a throwing weapon. The spear is a handheld weapon. And you can see down here, these have been dug out, and this is actually an active research area right here. So researchers can actually get into this pit, start digging these bones out and figuring it out. So just to give you a sense of scale, of how big the site is. That's the door over there. That's a bison hide. And there's a huge collection of bones there, and it's spread out and slowly been dug, and little sampling channels have been made, but nothing's been found here. So if this bulldozer didn't happen to come in here just to plow through the area and do some digging, and hey, there's a lot of bones here, this area definitely would not have been discovered. And it's just one person theorized that all these bones were here and a lightning strike went bzzzt and killed them all. However, it doesn't make a lot of sense because all of these bones are dated to different dates, hundreds and hundreds of years difference, and in that short sort of time span, it definitely worked. And these are a mix of bones of hundreds of, if not maybe 1,000, I'm guessing, years differential. So, you know, the whole lightning strike theory of a bunch of animals got zapped and they all died at once. Alright, so I got the tour here, but interestingly, the question is, where are the skulls? And the theory is that the skulls stay higher, they're weaker, and they smash, but there's very little evidence of, I mean, their jaws and teeth, lower jaws, but the skulls are toast. And then, very interestingly, a green bone break, meaning the animal, the bone was broken when the animal was still alive, versus a dry bone break. Virtually all of the bones are dry bone breaks. So that doesn't make any sense for a cliff jump, because the animals would jump, the legs would break, you know, kill them, and it doesn't work at all. And interestingly, the Forest Service worker here, she said that the excavations have only been done in those locations, and there could be actually more excavations, and nobody actually knows. But this is a highly researched area, and also the spear points come from different cultures and locations and times way back. I mean, it's just utterly mind-boggling, but the best part is everybody's theory is totally a theory. Nobody actually has a true clue, because based on the evidence of the mix and the mishmash of bones, that this is a total mix-up, and not mixed up like Clueless, just a mix-up of stuff. But it's the 75th anniversary of Smoky the Bear, and they have some original drawings by the artist who created Smokey. So these are some original 1988, 1993, 1992, going back in time here, 1995, unknown date. This is a definite bonus. I love Smokey the Bear. And then you should go back in time in 87, 85, 84. Now Smokey the Bear is, 75 years old, so these are much more modern renditions. But it just talks about all the different campaigns and everything of, ultimately, most fires are unfortunately people problems. 1980, and then 1979. Now obviously I'm not 75 years old, 79, I was still a little kid, and I remember Smokey the Bear program, so it's actually pretty fascinating. So I'm going to go outside and I'm actually going to try and use an Atlal. It should be pretty entertaining. We'll Atlal throw here and a cook. All right. So what's the process there?
Right. So I'm gonna bring your arm up like this. Point with the other arm where you want to go.
Okay.
Start kind of level. Don't drop your shoulder back like this. And when you do throw, you're gonna bring the Atlal all the way around and follow through like you're throwing a baseball.
Okay.
Right, so I'm probably gonna miss. I'm not the best
okay.
at this, but you'll get the idea. That doesn't usually happen. That doesn't usually happen.
I think that's like a heart shot. Yeah. So, okay, so you're a total sandbagger. Okay, so far so good. Did it look professional?
Absolutely.
All right, good. Okay, so Anna here pretty much gets a kill shot. Aaron here gets to eat grass for lunch. Not bad. Got one shot over there, but at least in the range, right?
Yeah, the consistency is great.
Okay, so just got to work on the aim a bit. That actually was kind of fun. I got to get one of those. All right, so I get to eat grass for lunch. The bison's out there. I can't believe how far those little arrows, or I don't know, projectiles go. I mean, that's that's 50 plus feet away. I was actually in range, which I didn't feel too bad. I couldn't hit the animal. The lady who works here, Anna, she hit it on the first shot and kill shot. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna have to eat cactus or cattail. So that's my starvation. But that was actually pretty fun. I mean, that's a dangerous weapon. You can cover some ground. My name's Aaron Linsdau. I'm a polar explorer and professional traveler. Please like and comment on my video. Subscribe to the channel. That helps support the channel keep going, and it helps it keep going. It doesn't cost you anything. You don't get spammed with email, and it makes it much easier for me to bring these videos to you so you can go on adventures and be motivated and learn about products and reviews and all the things that I do. Thank you very much for watching. Please support me on Venmo, PayPal, and Patreon.